Well, hello there. Oh my God, what a beautiful morning. Hello, it's Maddie B adventuring, and we are here just outside of Yellowstone. Guess who's also here?
I'm here
Trey, he's
too.
already up. Yeah, it's what, 6:30 in the morning? We're just kind of getting up. It's beautiful and sunny. We arrived here last night in the rain. We're at Buffalo Bill State Park, which is just on the west edge of Yellowstone National Park. We figured we'd camp here and drive into the park early in the morning, but it was wet and rainy. So luckily the sun is out this morning. We gotta wait a little bit for the tent to dry, for things to dry up in general. So we got pretty soaked last night, but we're excited for an upcoming adventure and to see lots of cool stuff in Yellowstone. Well, here we are. It's a beautiful campsite. There's mountains all around us, and it's really empty. We're the only people tenting. Not surprisingly, it's pretty cold this morning. What do you think of your first night with our new camping gear? We actually just got this gear pretty recently, this tent anyway, and Trey's sleeping pad and tent. What do you
I
think?
slept great. Nice and dry in there. It was warm. It was surprisingly warm. It warmed up really quick after we got set up. Yeah, I slept really good. How about you?
Hooray! I was a little bit cold. I should have put another layer of pants on, but it wasn't too bad. We heard some animals outside last night, walking around, breathing. Didn't know what they were.
Scratching on this tree.
Perhaps an elk. Yeah. Anyway, it's gorgeous here. Can't wait. Got ourselves some cold brew since we don't have any cooking equipment with us and we can't make a fire. This is our coffee choice for the morning. How is it? Gross?
It's okay.
Pour me a little bit. We're just waiting for our tent to dry a bit, and we got a bunch of stuff to pack up. But we're getting there. Still pretty chilly. So our goal for the day is to do a big loop around Yellowstone. We only have a day, so we're camping one night here at Buffalo Bill State Park on the east end of Yellowstone, and then tomorrow night we'll be in Gardner, which is just outside the north entrance of Yellowstone. So we're basically driving in, checking out the lake. We might go to Old Faithful. There's also the Grand Canyon that we want to check out, but they're kind of on opposite ends of this loop. So we're going to see how much time we have. Probably just leave the park around sunset, camp, and then maybe we'll come back in the morning before we continue on through Montana. We're going to play it by ear. All right, we are on our way into the park. We just met one of the state park attendants, and he told us that there's 6 or 7 grizzlies around. One of them was patrolling the lakeshore. We didn't see that one, but he said keep an eye out on the creek beds and the mountainsides, going into the Sylvan Valley. So fingers crossed. Got a herd of elk here in the field. Good number of them. All right, we made it into the park, into Lake Yellowstone, which is kind of one of the main open areas in the park. And she's pretty foggy. Hopefully that clears up. We just spotted some bison on the side of the road. Many to come, I'm sure. Quick pit stop here at Yellowstone Lake Hotel to get coffee, hot coffee. And it's still pretty foggy. This is Yellowstone Lake, which is the large lake in the center of the park, and represents part of the old caldera that was the volcano that erupted to form this area, and it's still frozen solid. starting to spew more. Oh. Wow, what do you think?
That's
it's
awesome.
erupting!
That's so cool.
That's almost done. Luckily, we are kind of walking around the vicinity of the geyser, and we had a good field of view because it sort of just came on very suddenly. Well, we just saw Old Faithful erupt, which was really cool. We decided to head this way instead of going to the canyon because of the fog, but now the fog is lifted and it's beautiful and clear and sunny. So we had perfect conditions really to see it. It wasn't too busy. Right now we're doing a bit of a short hike. It's a half-mile walk to a good viewpoint of Old Faithful, and there's some other geysers I guess you can see, smaller ones. The whole area is very geothermally active, so there's lots of fumes spouting from the earth.
We saw some bison run by a minute ago too.
Some
bison.
bison.
Try to find them.
Yeah. So lots to see, lots going on. And then we'll head back to the visitor center, maybe peruse the gift store, and we'll be onwards to the next stop. This trail leads through some mostly lodgepole pine forest and some open areas as well. It's really very early spring here still. A lot of snow on the way in. There's a few early songbirds singing, some yellow rump warblers and some kinglets, but definitely still early going. The trail's pretty muddy as well from the freshet and the snow melt. But we definitely lucked out with the weather. So this is the view of Old Faithful from Observation Point, which is a half-a-mile hike from below and some stairs. Bowling. Geysers everywhere. Wow, what a cool landscape. Some hot air on a cold day. Geysers everywhere you look. Who's in there? Huh. draining. This is the anemone geyser. You can see why it's named that. Seems like the water got sucked into this one and now it's erupting over there. Now it's about 1 o'clock and this is the current audience for Old Faithful. Quite the collection of people. A what? He's like, oh, I've been spotted. Hey, here we are. It is now 2 p.m. So our next stop was going to be the Grand Prismatic Spring, which isn't too far from Old Faithful. And we drove to that parking lot and there was a long line coming from the highway into the parking lot. So we stood there for a few minutes, turned around, went back out, and now we're at Fairy Falls parking lot,
Fairy Falls Trail,
which is a little bit, maybe a kilometer or so south of the spring, but there's a trail that follows kind of the geysers and stuff, and it leads to a spring overlook. So we're gonna go there instead. It'll be a bit more walking, but that's certainly nicer than waiting for a parking spot to clear. We'll probably see some bison on the way.
We saw the road and it was pretty rainbow. This one's pretty rainbow too.
Yeah, so like it's crazy how many people are around, and this is supposed to be the off season. It's mid-May, so I can't imagine what it'd be like in July, and it's a Wednesday. This is the Grand Prismatic Spring from eye level, ground level. You can see the different colors in the fumes, the vapor. I've seen some photos and it looks pretty incredible from above, so we're gonna go to the overlook, which is up there. We're gonna follow a different trail. Well, we made it to the Grand Prismatic Spring. There it is. You know this is Yellowstone when? Hey, here we are. We made it to the Canyon Village, the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. It's now just about, what, 5:20. Had a little coffee break at the village. Got some souvenirs. There's a little store there and a cafe. Some slim pickings, but it's something. Lots of nice fun souvenirs. And now we're headed to some viewpoints to see waterfalls. Whoa. So this is the Upper Falls? No. Upper Falls. Right, so we're walking along the trail that leads to the various waterfall lookouts. So the Grand Canyon is sort of, well, it's a canyon and there's lots of different waterfalls that come down, and you can kind of access it from the north and the south side. So there's two different drives that you can follow to see various viewpoints. It's actually a lot less busy here than all the other sites we were at earlier today. So success, that's a win. Okay, so we're here at the top of the Upper Falls, across from the north side. We got a little Marmot City over here. Another one over there. Okay, we're now at Artist Point, which seems to be the main sort of canyon-y view area, and it's pretty incredible. Look at those colors.
We finally found some Yellowstones.
That's right. Wow. Look at that. Just stunning views in every direction. Well, what do you think of the Grand Canyon?
It's unbelievable.
Yellowstone so far. I'd say one of the most beautiful geological landmarks I've ever seen. The colors are just unreal. And the scale of it. Alright, we have crossed over the canyon via the main road, and we're now on the other side at the lower falls right there. So we hit these areas here initially. We drove to Artist Point, back to the brink, and now it's what, 6:10? So we've been at this for about an hour.
To go down these switchbacks all the way down to the brink.
Then we'll see what we have time for on the way back. Lots of switchbacks. It's a long way down. 600 feet foot drop. Well, it looks like we timed this just as the sun is cresting the horizon, and there's no one else here. Are you ready?
Holy moly. Wow.
Oh. Wow. Trey noticed an interesting stairwell across the way. Well, what do you think? Is this the highlight? It just keeps getting better, honestly. Every spot we go to, it's like, oh, this is even more beautiful than the last.
This is incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, definitely recommend. Brink of the Lower Falls. Do it. It's a must-see. So we just passed a bunch more people heading down, and we had a lucky break where there was no one for like 15 minutes. But it was sort of 6:30, which is probably, dinner time. Maybe a lull in the activity. Also, we got ideal lighting because the sun is just setting behind the trees. And so the view from the brink of the Lower Falls is looking eastwards to get really good lighting from the west this time of day. I think in the morning you'd probably want to come see the lower rim drive viewpoints. Get that sunrise lighting at Artist Point, exactly.
Sorry, we're out of breath. We just
Lots of switchbacks.
600 feet.
We're almost there. Did it. Okay, lied, we have one more. This is Grand View, which is right off the drive. Yep, when you do Canyon Rim Drive north, it's a one-way, so you have to follow it all the way up. So we might as well stop. Check out this last one. 1,200 feet in depth. 24 miles long. And here it is, the Grand View. Another Grand View. This is kind of like the Artist Point, but from the other side. See all the beautiful colors in the rocks. All right, we're all canyoned out. It's now just past 7 p.m. And we have about an hour, a little less, of a drive to Gardiner, which is the town on the north side, just outside the north entrance. We have a campsite reserved there at Yellowstone RV Park, and we're just looking at some food options. Looks like there's some, good options. We might get a bison burger since we're, in the bison country. It's been quite a day. We started at 8 a.m. Now it's 7, so 12 hours once it's all said and done. A little more than that by the time we set our campsite. But
we managed to see kind of everything we wanted to. We did Old Faithful, so we started. We did the Prismatic Spring, we did the canyon, both the upper and lower parts of it, and everything was unreal. We managed to cram it all in one day. I'd say we probably spent an hour and a half maybe at each of those attractions. Then there's about an hour driving between each major sort of landmark. There's tons of places to stop in between. You know, all those are kind of the primary attractions, but there's lots of other little spots along the way, where you could spend days and days. You could go hiking, you could go biking. You know, you could just sit and watch the springs, honestly, and the geysers and everything for hours at a time. But for one sort of day blitz, like I feel like we managed it pretty well. We managed to see all the things we want to see. The only thing we haven't seen is a grizzly. We missed that, and also there's the Mammoth Hot Springs, which is at the north entrance. We're gonna see that still, but our plan is to come back in the morning. Take
Because our pass is good for multiple days.
That's right. The pass that you buy is good for a week. That's the base level of $35, which is all the national parks. That's how it works. So we're gonna go back in the morning, at least until noon, probably. Drive up the Lamar Valley a little bit because that's good grizzly country, especially in the morning. And then we'll stop at the Mammoth Hot Springs and and then that'll be it.
Driving around Yellowstone is really fun too. The roads are really well kept. There's
Good
lots of stuff to
infrastructure.
look at.
Yeah,
Scenery, the traffic isn't bad.
it's true. All of the sites have had lots of people, but the roads haven't been too busy. So like, there's definitely enough sort of road infrastructure. Parking lots are sometimes a bit tight, but again, it's the off season, so I expect it would be at least double in the summer. Grizzlies. Well, that's what a grizzly hanging out along the roadside in Yellowstone looks like. A lot of people.
It was so
We saw
cute.
one.
It was so cute.
Three. We saw three.
It was so cute.
Well, we just left Yellowstone, and that's what awaited us at the exit. A group of elk by the Roosevelt Arch.
Wow.
And it's just 8 o'clock, and we're in the town of Gardner. So this is where we're going to find some food and make our camp. What a beautiful sunset. There it is.
Wow.
Teddy Roosevelt Arch, the founder of the National Park System. President Theodore Roosevelt. What's inside? Whoa. All right, here we are at Yellowstone RV Park at our campsite. The sun is just going down. We made it just in the nick of time. Just getting set up, and then we're almost ready to head to dinner. It's a pretty nice spot. Very busy though, full. We booked about a month in advance, and luckily we did because there were no free sites available otherwise. How's it going in there?
Good. Hi.
Just had some dinner at the
Antler.
the Antler Grill in town.
We had
a
elk.
wapiti brat on a hoagie. It's pretty tasty.
It was really tasty.
There's some cool taxidermy here.
Did you see the chandelier?
This guy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good morning. We are back in Yellowstone. We had some breakfast this morning at the Yellowstone Park in Gardner and decided to head up the Grand Loop Road towards the Lamar Valley. And really, before long, we spotted a wolf on the side of the road. Actually, some other people spotted it, but it was approaching them. And then we followed it down the road, just kind of making its way around this wetland. And it stopped because it found a carcass over there. Now it's just kind of feasting on this like bighorn sheep carcass. Blacktail Pond, yeah. So it's in the Blacktail Plateau, which is not too far up from Mammoth Springs. We have a nice open area for wildlife viewing, and yeah, sure enough, we saw this wolf. We've been watching it for a few minutes. There's lots of other people coming by now, stopping to see it. There's lots of birds too. We got some snipe, we got a bunch of blackbirds, lots of ducks. Sora, yeah, it's a really cool spot. We're so lucky to see this wolf so early in the day. We were hoping to make it all the way down to the Lamar Valley, but honestly, we've seen that grizzly yesterday. We saw this wolf. Like, we really lucked out with the wildlife so far. So, anything else we see is a bonus at this point. What do you think of your first wolf sighting?
That was awesome.
We got to see it like running, close up, far away, eating. Lots of cool looks at it. Probably better continue onwards if we're gonna gain some ground before the morning ends. Here comes the other one.
Oh. You should have brought a cracker. He'd come right up to him. Where's that grandpa? What is that?
I forgot to bring the carrots.
He's hungry, the guy, isn't he?
All right, we're headed to see the petrified tree, which I guess is a tree all by itself. It's right here. There it is. And there's lots of beautiful views to be had, of course, everywhere we go.
Oh, ground squirrel.
Another traffic jam, which means more wildlife to see. What's it gonna be? People are walking a short way over this rise, and got a grizzly and 2 bison. Bison crossing. Well, we finally made it to the Lamar Valley after about 2 hours. Took us a while because there were so many places to stop and spot wildlife, but now this is where the wildlife densities are just taking on a whole nother level. So there's bison just all along the river valley here. You can see them just dotting the landscape, and the scenery is just breathtaking. You can see where they get close to the road is where everybody has stopped.
There's a lot of bison out there.
So I guess we found the spot where the wolf kill happened earlier, but it's quite way over the base of those mountains. You really need a scope to see it, but check out all the people that have stopped here to witness the action. And it's so far in the distance, like even with a scope you wouldn't see a whole lot. But it's pretty cool. I guess in the morning there were about 10 wolves, someone described to us, that brought down a bison calf, and then the mother came and tried to defend the calf, and then another bison came, but it sounds like they were able to make the kill. What a beast. Some good eating right next to the road, I guess. That's where the good grass is. They got the good grass. Bye, son. Okay, we're making our way back from the Lamar Valley to Mammoth Hot Springs, our last stop before we have to leave Yellowstone. And just a little recap. So we spent about 2 hours driving from the junction at Mammoth Hot Springs to near the end of the Lamar Valley. We didn't get quite to the end, which isn't a super long distance to cover, but we took a couple hours because we stopped frequently to look at wildlife along the way. And we ended up seeing, a wolf? Well, one lone wolf, then a wolf at a den far away that somebody helped us see with their scope, and then we saw a couple more wolves with the near this kill site. We saw a moose, we saw lots of elk, lots of pronghorn, many bison, a grizzly, and this is all within a 2-hour period. Just driving.
Ground squirrels.
Lots of ground squirrels, that's right. And we weren't like out there at ideal hours either. It was like between the hours of 9 and 11. So even if you're not out super early in the morning, there's still really good viewing opportunities to be had. So if you want to see wildlife and you're in Yellowstone, as they recommend, go to Lamar Valley. All right, we're just starting the Mammoth Hot Springs Boardwalk Trail, which covers kind of the whole area and passes through various different geological wonders. Don't do this.
20 people have been spotted.
20?
20.
Yikes.
Now what planet are we on?
You tell me. Look at the hot steam coming off the flow there. So cool. And these interesting little pools. Tiered pools. Lunar-like landscape. This old dried up spring, currently dry spring. We are headed toward Canary Spring, which is just over that way. This is now the upper parking lot, which is a little bit of a driving loop that goes through various springs. Alright, the Canary Spring. Here it is. Kind of a side view. and it flows all the way down, almost to the road below. A little viewing area here, and there's nobody else here. Bye. For now, anyway.
White.
This is the Pallet Spring.
I think it's white.
Well, that was our last spring of the day. I think what makes it really cool is like the movement and the scale and how dynamic they are. You can see the trees are literally just stuck in the middle of all this limestone that has come down. All right, that was Mammoth Hot Springs. There it is, one last look. Another amazing wonder. Where do you rank this one?
It's impossible to decide.
They're all amazing and also unique and different. I can't think of anywhere else that I've been where you can see this many cool, different natural wonders in one place. Mind you, it's a large park, but you can see it all in a day. This is the Yellowstone National Park post office. Bye, Yellowstone. Right, so we're just coming into the town of Gardner, which is kind of the gateway town, just outside the north entrance to Yellowstone. And also in Montana, you cross the border as you come down out of the park. It's a cute little town. There's a ton of restaurants, very touristy. I imagine there's more tourists here than residents at any given time in tourist season. There's lots of fun souvenir stores, there's a bar, there's lots of hotels, of course. Alrighty, we just finished a quick roadside dinner here in Gardner, and we're about to hit the road. So that is it for our 1.5 day Yellowstone Park Blitz. It was absolutely incredible, of course.
What an amazing adventure.
Definitely one of the coolest national parks I've been to. And this seems to be a good time of year to go. We had really good weather today. It was beautiful and warm. We didn't do a lot of off-trail hiking or long distance hiking, so I imagine a lot of trails are still snow covered. But if you're doing kind of the main sites, just like passing through, this is a good time to come. And even in May, it was still busy. There were lots of people everywhere.
I can't imagine what it's like in the busy season.
Yeah, me neither. Anywho, I'll have to come back at some point and do more backcountry hiking and see kind of the more remote parts of the park. But we covered the main attractions pretty well. Anywho, if you like this video, leave a like, maybe a comment, and see you next time. Bye.